name is Anthony, and I'm in my second year PhD research. And I'm also the student voice leader for research degree students in the Department of Natural Sciences. And I passed my registration on the 11th of June 2015. And here are my top 10 tips. The first tip is, I think it's important that you know yourself. You know yourself in the aspect of the strength and weakness of your research area. And you are the best person to assess your capability. And so I think it's important that you evaluate yourself vis-a-vis your research topic. And if there is any opportunity or threat, you are in the best position to figure that out. Like the popular saying that man, know thyself. So I think it's important you know yourself. Then secondly, the second tip is to maximize the research facilities and resources that are made available. The research degree administration team has put together a series of workshops and training. And I believe if we take advantage of those, it will heighten our confidence and enhance our research experiences. So for me, research method workshop was very crucial to my successful registration, because that led me to the number 3, which has to do with updating your research proposal with clearer objectives, research questions, hypotheses, and most importantly, an unequivocal research novelty. It's important that you highlight the gap in your research field. And for me, I think the research novelty is what separates the boys from the men. And also, it could be the thin line between a PhD and an MPhil. Fourthly, for me, I saw my supervisors as my partners. So I'm still always accountable to them, and I take to their feedbacks, their advice, and also their suggestions. Because trust me, you don't want to be in a panel where your supervisors are also asking questions. It won't be good if you cannot differentiate between your supervisors and your independent reviewer in your registration panel. So if you keep this close relationship together, I think it will go a long way. And the fifth one is to be prepared at least a month ahead. And this has to do with submitting all the necessary paperwork and practice your presentation. It is often said that practice makes perfect. So several presentations of your research proposal won't be a bad idea. And the sixth one is to know your registration presentation structure or format, venue, and if possible, your registration panel. And this was very helpful for me because I've been used to stand-up presentation where you have a lecture room with a projector and perhaps a giant screen. And so that was what I had at the back of my mind. But when I had the opportunity to know the venue beforehand, I simply went there, and that changed my perception, because what I saw was like a board structure where you have a table and the center, and so that gave me an idea that perhaps I'll be doing a sit-down presentation, and it was just a giant TV screen, and so I had to adjust. And also it helps me to familiarize myself with the IT facilities present. So I had to upload my presentation ahead of time, and that gave me the composure and the atmosphere that I needed to pass my registration. 7 on the list is to optimize the timing, which is usually 30 to 45 minutes. And that has to do with keeping to time and engage your panel by having strong eye contact. You don't have to be glued to the screen or glued to your notes. So in doing this, there's this two-way connection, and that helps you to pass the message. And one of the things that was also crucial to my success was the fact that I have to give an overall clarity to my methodology, because in the course of trying to perfect my presentation, I realized that my methodology was so complex, and I always have this, that was my heel of Achilles at a point. So I decided to do a flow chart which just summarized everything. And at the end of the presentation, I realized that my internal reviewer my independent reviewer took a deep sigh of relief, because when I looked at my research proposal on her table, there were a lot of question marks and comment and all of that. But according to her, she said the flow chart just summarized everything, and the only recommendation I got was to include the flow chart into my proposal. So I think if we make our methodology simple enough, then that should suffice, and that will enhance one's presentation. And be confident. When you do all of these, I think it gives you that confidence. And I would like to leave you with the advice I got from my independent reviewer, which was, you cannot solve the whole problem of the world in your research. So be realistic, keep it simple, and finally, be honest. Thank you.